Hi, I am Sandeep Desai from Asha Tutorials. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about the Kirchhoff's law. In current electricity, Kirchhoff's laws are very important to find out the potential difference, current or resistance. The importance of Kirchhoff's law is by using Ohm's law that already you know V is equal to IR, we can able to also find the resistance, potential difference or current. But in a complicated circuit, that means wherever you have number of cells or resistances, then in those cases, if you want to find out current or potential difference with the help of Ohm's law, that becomes very difficult. So by using Kirchhoff's law, we can able to simplify those. So let's see what are these Kirchhoff's law. Kirchhoff's first law that deals with the flow of current, and that is also called as Kirchhoff's current law. Kirchhoff's current law, or sometimes it is also called as junction law. And the second law we have, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law, or that is also known as loop law. So what are these laws we have that we are going to see now? First of all, we will discuss in detail about Kirchhoff's current law. That is, in short, we write KCL. As per this law, it says that at any junction in electric circuit, at any junction in electric circuit, the algebraic sum of all the current is equal to 0. All the current that is equal to 0. Now let's see in detail what actually it means by taking a suitable example. So here, suppose if I consider, okay, a junction point O in electric circuit where suppose there are number of electric branches are meeting here, let's say like this. So let me draw here few branches, and if I consider O is the junction point of that, okay, fine. So here let's suppose that one current I1 that is coming towards this point O, or I2 coming from this branch. Let's say I3 is leaving this particular junction, or I4 that is also leaving this particular junction, and I5 that is coming towards this junction. So if I consider these are the currents which are arriving or going away from this junction, then at junction point O, at the junction point O, as per Kirchhoff's current law, as per Kirchhoff's current law, okay, what we have it says that algebraic sum of all the current that is equal to 0. Now if I add all these 5 currents, do we get 0? No. So how then he said that algebraic sum of all the current is equal to 0? To get it clear, let's see, along with this law, you must have to remember the sign convention that is suggested or given by the Kirchhoff sign convention. And this is very important. Sign conventions, those are very important here to remember. So as per the sign convention, okay, you have to remember whenever or when current that is coming towards the junction, if current is coming towards the junction, then we have to consider that current as positive. Okay, that current we have to consider as positive. And if the current leaving the junction, if current leaves the junction, that means it is going away from the junction, then in that case we have to consider, or we have to take the sign of current that is negative. So you must have to remember these 2 points. Current coming towards junction is positive and current leaving the junction is negative. Now in this figure, whatever be the currents which are coming towards this junction, I must have to consider that is as positive, and current leaving the junction as negative. So then again let us apply the Kirchhoff's law to get the answer of this. So let's see what we get. So applying Kirchhoff's current law at junction point O. So As per Kirchhoff's current law, what we have? Algebraic sum of all the current is equal to 0. That means current I1 plus current I2 plus I3 plus I4 plus I5. So all this together, that should be equal to 0. And now, as per this, our convention, we have to take sign to this current. So see here in this figure, current I1 is coming towards junction. So I must have to consider or take its value, that is positive. So this is positive we have. I2, just tell me what is the sign of I2? Yes, it is again coming towards junction, so it is positive. I3, look at to that figure and see, it is leaving the junction. See here, it is leaving the junction. O point, from O point it is going away from the junction. So I can consider I3, or I have to take sign of I3, that is negative. For I4 again you see it is leaving the junction, so I must have to take its sign, that is negative. Okay, and I5, that is coming towards the junction, so I must have to take this is positive. So what we get here? We get here, okay, I1 plus I2 and plus I5. These are positive currents, okay, and I3 and I4, these are negative. Here, if I take this negative two currents on to the right side of equal sign, I can take them as I3 plus I4, and this is what we have. So from this relation again, we can able to write Kirchhoff's current law as, how we can write? Here you see that I1, I2, I5, these are what we have. This is total incoming current, total incoming current, okay, and that is equal to, we can say, I3 plus I4. That is what we have, total outgoing current, that is total outgoing current. So one may also say alternatively the Kirchhoff's current law as per this current law, at junction, whatever be the total incoming current we have, to that same we have total outgoing current. So this is what we have is Kirchhoff's current law. This Kirchhoff's current law is in well agreement with current law, that is in agreement with we have. Can anybody tell me what is that? In agreement with law of conservation of charges. Law of conservation of charges. So do you remember what is law of conservation of charges? So as per this law of conservation of charges, the total charge in a system remains constant. Either that charges may transfer to other body, or from other body it can gain, but the total charge overall, that remains constant. And as current, that you know, it means rate of flow of charge. So whatever charges, net charges, they are flowing towards the junction, the same charges, those are leaving from the junction. So that's why we can say this particular Kirchhoff's current law, that is in well agreement with this law of conservation of charges. Remember, this is very important, okay? Sometimes MCQs, those are asked based on that. I hope you understood what is this Kirchhoff's current law. Now we are going to discuss about the Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is second law, or this law is also known as loop law, as I told you. So what is this? Let's see first its statement. So as per Kirchhoff's voltage law, it says that over any closed loop, or you can say closed path or closed circuit, anything you can say. So over any closed loop, okay, it says that sum of algebraic sum of all the EMFs, algebraic sum of all the EMFs and algebraic sum of potential drops, algebraic sum of potential differences is equal to 0, is equal to 0. So this is, we have Kirchhoff's voltage law. Let me read it once again. What it says: over any closed loop, algebraic sum of all the EMFs and algebraic sum of potential difference is equal to 0. So mathematically, if I want to write, how I can write that? Let's see. Mathematically, simply I can write this as over any closed loop over any closed loop or circuit, algebraic sum of all EMFs and algebraic sum of all the potential differences. That potential differences we can find by I into R by Ohm's law, you know that. So this is equal to 0. So you remember this particular thing. So easily you can understood, or easily you can remember the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Let us understood this law with the proper example. So let me take here one example. Okay. But before telling you the example or giving here an example, let me once again tell you the sign convention that we need to follow while using this Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So let's see what are those sign conventions we have. What are the sign conventions in using Kirchhoff's voltage law we have? That let's see. So here you see in this Kirchhoff's voltage law, there are two terms we have. One is EMF and the other is this potential difference. So definitely the sign convention that we have to use for EMF and as well as for potential difference. Let's see first of all the sign convention that we need to use for EMF. Okay. So here to explain this, let me take here an example that suppose here we have one branch and there we have this cell of EMF E. Definitely here this end of cell is positive and this is negative. And suppose this branch we have that is A, B. Now while tracing this loop, if we are going suppose from A to B, means we are going from positive to negative. So in this case, we have to take the sign of this EMF that is negative. Here we have to take the sign of EMF that is negative. And suppose if any other student is tracing this loop from B to A, then B to A in this particular path, if EMF comes, then in this particular example, we have to consider its sign that is positive. So remember here, if you are going from positive to negative, the sign is negative, and if you are going from negative to positive, that is positive. This is the first sign convention. Then second sign convention that we have for potential differences, that is for IR. So here for this, to make you understood this, let me again take an example. Suppose here we have in branch AB a resistance that is R. And suppose the current is flowing here from A to B. Current of I is flowing through this resistance. Now we know that as per sign convention, the direction of current, as per this direction of current, we have to write plus and minus O to this resistance. Now in this case again, suppose if any student is tracing this loop from A to B, okay, if you are going from A to B, that is from positive to negative. So again in this case we have to take the sign of that IR potential difference that is negative. And if one of the students suppose tracing this loop from B to A, okay, in the loop if suppose it travel or trace it from B to A, that is negative to positive. So while going from B to A, we have to take the sign of that potential difference that is positive. In short, I can say, or in short, suppose if you want to remember this sign, remember that always we have to take sign of EMF or IR. That is the sign of letter sign. Means suppose positive negative if you travel, then it is negative, or negative to positive travel positive. So letter sign, whatever we have, letter sign, that we have to take here using this Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now I hope that you understood this sign convention. So if you understood this sign convention, let us apply this to find out the equations for a particular example. So for this, let me take here one example. Let us take here one example. Suppose we have two batteries or cell which has internal resistance. Let's say E1 is one cell with internal resistance R1, and that is connected in parallel with another cell of EMF E2 and internal resistance R2. And the combination of these two, let's suppose it is connected to an external resistance R here. And here In this particular example, by using Kirchhoff's voltage law, suppose if it is asked to calculate current flowing through this external resistance or current through any branch, etc. So how we can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in these loops to find out the EMF or resistance or potential differences? Before using Kirchhoff's voltage law directly, there are certain steps that I suggest you while solving the problems based on Kirchhoff's voltage law. So what are those steps we have? The very first step, we have to draw a clear circuit diagram as per the given problem. Then second important thing is write plus and minus signs on cell and resistances by showing direction of current. So let's do that here first. Okay, the second step, we draw a circuit diagram. That is first step is over. Then second step, as I told you, you have to actually give sign over to this cell. So this is plus, this is minus, this is plus, this is minus, and then we have to show the direction of current. Suppose from E1 cell current I1 is flowing and from E2 cell current I2 is flowing. Now as they come over to this junction, okay, so together actually they combine over here as per KCL, and the total current that is flowing through R is we have I1 plus I2, and that is flowing from this end to this end. So let me write, this is plus, this is minus. As I told you that with the direction of current flow we have to put plus minus sign over resistance, so that I done here. Then I1 plus I2 current that comes up to here, then I2 that flows towards its own battery and it is flowing from this end to this end. So let me write, this is plus, this is minus, and I1 current, remaining current, that flows from this end to this end. So let me write, this is plus and this is minus. Very important point is here that wherever you find junction, okay, there we have to give certain name. That actually we are supposed to do as a second step first of all. So give name to junction points. So let me give a name to this junction point as for a while. Let's say A, B, C. Then here we have one junction that is D, okay, E and F. Yes. So actually this should be the second step, right? Then the next step, okay, that we have to do is apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to any two loops, and then finally we have to simplify those equations for final answer. So these are the steps that we need to follow. So let us apply now. Three steps already we are done. So let us apply this Kirchhoff's voltage law. So just do that. Let's see what we get then. So if I apply, suppose, Kirchhoff's voltage law to loop. Okay, now how many loops are there? Apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to loop. So if you carefully see in the figure, there are three loops we have. So here in this example, I'll write these equations for all those three loops, and these loops that we can consider in any clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So first let's see what are those loops we have. The first loop that I can say, that is this, you see, A, B, C, F, A. That is this loop. One may take this as A, F, C, B, A also. So let me take this loop as A, B, C, F, A. Remember, the point from where you start, you should have to end up with that point. Then only the loop will be get closed. Because this Kirchhoff's voltage law, remember, it is used for closed loop. So let's begin, or let's just use the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Look at to this figure again. We are going from where? As we are written here loop, in the same way we have to move from that point. So A to B, I am going right now from A to B. So as I am traveling from A to B, in my path, first of all, what comes? The cell E1. Here you see the cell E1. And what is its actually sign that we have to take? Remember the sign convention. Always we have to take the latter sign. So here latter sign is negative we have. So what I can write, it is minus E1 minus E1. Then after cell we have a resistance R1, and through that how much current is flowing? I1. So potential difference across this R1 is I1 R1 we have. So we have to add that potential difference. And what is the sign of that I need to take? Here again by sign convention I told you ladder sign. So ladder sign is here, plus we have. So let me write this is plus I1 R1. Then as I come over B, from B to C there is nothing. No cell, no resistance. Okay, so good. Then let's go from C to F. So as I travel or trace the loop from C to F, then I find here, I get here for first of all what? This resistance R2 through which current I2 is flowing, and that is going from plus to minus. So let me write this is as minus I2 R2. And then comes here the cell of EMF E2, and here letter sign is plus. So let me take here that is plus E2. I reach up to F, and then finally from F to F there is nobody. Okay, nothing in the circuit. So I can write this is equal to 0. And this is what we have, the equation that we get after applying KVL to loop A, B, C of A. Right? Now here you can simplify by taking these EMF values together and this relation of current, okay, that is together. Then let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to loop. Kirchhoff's voltage law to loop, let's say you can take any loop. Okay, so let me take here this loop in a reverse order, let's say like this, F E D C F, F E D C F, like that. Suppose if I take, then what I can write the equation of this. So let's go from F to E, nobody's there. E to D, while traveling or going from E to D, we have what? Resistance capital R through which current I1 plus I2 is flowing, and we are going from plus to minus. So latter sign is negative. So I'll use negative. Okay, current flowing through that is I1 plus I2, and resistance is capital R. I reach up to D. Then D to C, nobody is there. Okay. Then traveling from C to F, we have what in our path? Resistance R2 through which I2 current is flowing, and we are going from plus to minus. So what is the sign of it? Yes, correct, minus. And current flowing through that is I2, and resistance is R2. Then here we have cell E2, and we are going from minus to plus. So latter sign is plus. So plus E2, that I'll write. And the loop is over, so that is equal to 0. So this we get the another equation by applying KVL to loop FEDCF. So here again in this loop, in this equation whatever we got, you can simplify this. You can take the EMF terms to one side of equal sign, and then you can simplify these two relations. Means, okay, these are two simultaneous equations which you can simplify to get the answer of current or EMF. Then let me apply here Kirchhoff's voltage law. Apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to one more loop. Kirchhoff's voltage law to loop. Now which loop we can take here? Let us take this. Which loop is remain? Okay, two loops are over. This is first loop, this is second loop, and third loop is this complete loop. So if I take here, suppose this loop as A, B, D, E, A. So as I go from A to B, once again, A to B, in my path, what comes first? EMF, plus to minus. So latter sign is negative, and the cell of EMF E1. Then what comes? A resistance R1 through which I1 current is flowing, and latter sign is plus. So let me write this is plus I1 R1. Okay. Then up to D, nobody is there. Then D to E, as I trace minus to plus, so I can write here plus. Current flowing through this capital R is I1 plus I2 we have. So let me write I1 plus I2. Okay. And its resistance is capital R. Fine. E to A, nothing is there. So loop is over. That means it is equal to 0. So this is again we get third equation by using KVL to loop A, B, D, E, A. So this way you see we can write by using Kirchhoff's voltage law the equations first of all. And once we write these equations for any two loops, as I told you here, for any two loops, we can use these equations. And once we write these equations, we can solve those to find out the I1, I2 or I1 plus I2 or sometimes EMF or unknown resistance, etc. etc. So I hope you understood, okay, the Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Here note that the Kirchhoff's is in well agreement with law of conservation of energy. We have law of conservation of energy. Okay, so remember this, because you see that energy whatever supplied by the cell, that is actually distributed over to these resistances. So we can say it is in well agreement with law of conservation of energy, that you already know that energy can't be created or not be destroyed, it only transfer from one body to another. So voltage law is in well agreement with law of conservation of energy, and current law is in law of conservation of charge.